It's Oneil Bleu, y'all.
Hey everyone.
Hey, how are you? How are you feeling?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well, excited to be doing this with you.
Thank you for having me here.
You're welcome. So the first thing I want to get into, right, is the teeth, of course. Can we get a teeth cam? The teeth are gorgeous, y'all. You gotta see them. You gotta see them. All right. So, did Tyrone ever fix your seat?
No, I fixed it myself.
Oh,
Yeah.
you had to go see about it yourself.
Mhm. It was free, by the way, because I have a warranty.
Gotcha. Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Of course. But just to like think back on it, like,
Mhm.
he called your car raggedy after,
Mhm.
you put him out on Front Street that, he did in fact broke your seat and
Yeah.
everything. What's the relationship like with Tyrone?
Me and Tyrone are good. We was good after that situation. Like, it wasn't on camera, but like he pulled me to the side. We did film it, and like he gave me a very genuine and sincere apology, and we moved forward.
Okay. Would you ever allow him back in your car?
Of course. Yeah, I would.
Really? That's very mature.
Yeah. Like, sometimes like, people make mistakes, and like even though how he reacted to it wasn't a way that, I didn't like it at all. But like, the biggest part about it is that he took accountability and, he apologized.
Very good. Very good. Shout out to Tyrone for owning up to breaking his man's seatbelt in his in his expensive car. Shout out to Tyrone for that. But what does it feel like being the original of something, like the original bad boy, like the OG of the come up? Like, what does that feel like all to you?
It feels good, you know what I mean? Because especially being an original bad boy, because we started it. And well, we kind of like changed the narrative of it, because if you watch from season 1 to 3, it wasn't like season 4 or 5. Like it was more structure, less ghetto. We got into fights, but we had a storyline, so it feels good, like watching everyone do this, like their own bad boys club and stuff like that, knowing that I came from the original. Like, they know who I am, like Milan Christopher knows,
Right.
everybody knows GeminiFilmz Bad Boys Club.
Right.
So, I feel as if like people say Natalie took it and stuff like that. And
Right. She definitely did not take it, but, so I can just only imagine like people who are like doing these new Bad Boy Club series and things like that. I'm sure they have reached out to you and like probably want you to be a part of what they have going on. No?
Well, that's a secret.
Okay. Well, we can say all that. We shall.
Yeah.
Okay. The money don't stop over here. So, Oneil, tell me what was life like before the Bad Boys Club, the Come Up New York? What was your life like before you even got involved in all of that?
My life was like, I wouldn't say bad, but I was going down the wrong path. And I feel like, going on that show made me realize who I was, and I got exposed because of it. But I think that was one of the greatest things to ever happen, because it just made me more happy within myself. I felt free. I felt like I wasn't hiding. I came out the closet, because prior to going on that show, my family didn't know about me, and I wasn't like hanging out with like gay boys or anything like that. Like, I was with boys, like fighting, getting arrested almost every week. You know what I mean? So doing that exposed me to a lot more, and it really brought the real me out, and it just made me more happy and comfortable in my skin.
That's a beautiful thing. So tell me, now that your parents obviously see the influence you've had on both platforms, what are they saying now? How do they feel now? Right?
They was against it, but it wasn't because I was on the show, like, fighting or anything like that. It was just because like how they found out. you know, because when Bad Boys Club season 4 came out, it was one of the most viral ones, you know, and we didn't think that it was going to get the splash that it did. We thought it was going to be like 1, 2, 3,
Mm-hmm.
but that trailer went viral, you know, and it was just like everywhere. Like my mom saw it on her feed, and
No.
that's how she found out about me.
What?
She saw it on her feed on Facebook, and I remember like it was yesterday. She barged into the room like, "Is this what you're doing?"
Right. Tell us about it. What was that encounter like? Like, you know, mom seeing it on her timeline, you know, a baby boy. Like, what's...
I felt like a disappointment. You know what I mean? Like I felt as if like, you know, I disappointed her. I felt like she was gonna hate me. I felt like it was over. You know what I mean? But like a few days went by and, you know, she came around and she was like, you know, I love you for who you are. And, you know, I knew this and I didn't like the way I found out about it. And ever since then, my mom has been nothing but 100% supportive. And a lot of people say because of my culture, I'm Jamaican. You know what I mean? You know, my
Oh,
culture is against that. But my mom, she supports it 100%. Like, you can't say anything homophobic or anything like ignorant related to the gay community in front of her. She would chew you up.
Like, well, can we clap it up for Mama? Mama Blue. Let's clap it up for Mama Blue. I love that. I love to hear stories like that. I love to hear that we do still have these mamas, you know, out here representing their gay child or their LGBTQ plus child. It's a beautiful thing to hear. You know. What were some, what can I say? What were some reality TV shows that you were watching growing up?
I love Flavor of Love. I loved Bad Girls Club, of course.
Right. How could you not?
We all did. But that was it. Like in Charm School, I love Charm School.
With Monique?
Yeah.
Off the chain.
Yeah. So like those are the shows that was my go-to shows. Like I love those shows. So when I found out that they were doing the Bad Boys Club season 4 auditions, I auditioned. And it was just like, I'm gonna tell you a secret. That no one knows. I was originally casted as a replacement. Yep.
What?
So I was casted as a replacement. One of the boys dropped right before we started filming, and I ended up getting his original role.
Yes, that's tea. That's tea, and I think that's going to shake the internet with that because who was the person that
dropped? I didn't know who he was. Yeah, it was the pictures came out, and he was like some light skinned cute boy, you know, very flamboyant.
Right.
And he dropped like literally like a week before we were supposed to film.
Right. So let's talk about the auditions, right? When Karan first announced that he was doing it, right? Did you immediately want to be a part of it, or did you actually give it some thought before you considered?
So, you know, Ty and I were friends for a very long time. And he auditioned. And then when he auditioned, I was like, oh, I'm going to do it too. And then I did it. Right. That's how we did it. And then he got casted as an original. And I got casted as a replacement. But I didn't get casted as a replacement because my audition tape. I was late.
Okay.
You know? Right. So that's why, like, he made me the first replacement. Yep. And then the boy dropped and I just ended up being an original. Okay.
So, all right. Well, let's really talk about it, right? Because then the two shows went on to be so impactful.
Yeah.
Right. And like you said, you really didn't see it becoming such a big hit.
I didn't.
Right. So at what point did you see it really like, okay, this show is actually a hit show?
Well, before the trailer came out, everyone on the cast knew that we didn't want our season to be like previous seasons because it was just nothing but fighting no structure, no storylines, and
Mhm.
that's it. And we definitely didn't want a reunion in a basement. So
Okay.
we all spoke and we was just like, listen, y'all, like, if we gonna do this, we gonna do this.
Yeah.
And
I want equality.
yeah,
You know?
so we changed it. You know what I mean? And when the trailer dropped, it was great. And it just went viral. It was all over the place.
So you mean to tell me you was EP from the start? You just came in and just said, I want it this way and that way. And, Karan seemed to just fall in line.
Not only me, but the whole group felt that way. Sammy felt that way. DeAndre felt that way. The only person we probably didn't talk to was Lawrence. Ty felt that way. Like, we all felt like, going on to this show, we didn't want it to be like the other ones because there was no structure. So if we are going to do this, we're going to do this the right way.
Right. So do you think that's what it takes now to make a hit show now, is for all of the cast members to all be on one page on how the show will be represented? Or
Absolutely. But right now, I don't know what's going on with reality TV. Because reality TV right now is just in shambles.
Yeah.
We are in a generation now where these kids want ruthless shit. Like, they want to see Now That's TV.
Now That's TV is wild as shit.
It's crazy. And that's what people want to see now. You know what I mean? Like,
okay. Now, let's get into the real, right? Because you announced that you will not be associating yourself with the franchise GeminiFilmz any longer. Can you open up about that decision and what all went into that?
I just feel as if, like, I love everything Karan does and I respect everything he does. And I thank him so much for giving me the opportunity. But I wouldn't say never, because I don't know where I would be or how I would feel a few years from now. But as for right now, my peace is way more important. And I feel as if whenever I'm a part of that, my peace is disturbed. I'm never in drama in my real life, So for me to be a part of a show and it's just like nonstop drama, back to back to back to back to back. And it's like, we take breaks and we take long breaks before we go from one season to another season.
Correct.
In between those breaks, we're not the same people. We're growing, we are getting accustomed to our new life and the things that we are doing. So going back into that, it becomes a little bit more like,
unbalanced,
stressful, and I want to go on there and be calm and just like, take the back seat, because that was my motive for last season. But I don't want to be a part of something that's not good either. So when it's time to clock in, I got to clock in. You know what I mean?
Right. I was completely shocked when you made that announcement, because like I said in the beginning of the video, you're the most longest running cast member, right? It's you, Ty, Spanky, and I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
As far as like the long running people still on the show.
Montel is long running too. He wasn't on the last season, but he did do 3 seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this is no shade. This is no shade whatsoever. But when I say longest running, that means people who are still actively in the run. You know. So yeah, that's what I was referring to. But so let's talk about it, right? We got to see your food tasting event happen on the show, right? And we got to see your castmates there, everybody dressed up in they all white and beige. And the setup was beautiful and everything, right? Tell me about it, right? So we basically got to see an introduction of your new gig, right? That's what you're currently actively doing in your life right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you give me like some details on it?
So right now, I haven't been doing any catering, and I did take a pause on the cookbook because with my career and what I do, I've grown so much. So like I'm a big deal right now with my job. So like I'm super busy like most of the time.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna get back to it in January though, because I really do want to become a full-time content creator. And it's so funny because I was literally having this conversation about 2 days ago,
Mhm.
like getting equipment and stuff like that, making sure I record everything that I cook and post it, and rebranding my actual page, Oneil Bleu, into a content creator page and a cooking page.
Right. And you can sit up here and act like you're not getting these requests, right? These
Yeah.
requests for more content. Where is Oneil Bleu?
Mhm.
What, what's going on? I mean, we see you now. We see you active on the media now. But as far as like the things that you are passionate about, I think that your real supporters and your followers want to get into that. You know what I mean? So it's good to hear that you're bringing it in 2024.
Yeah, I had to take a little bit of a break from social media because the last season of the Come Up really messed with my mental. And I just was in a place where it's just like, damn, like I need to lay low and just figure out my happiness again and my peace before I start getting back into the jig of things, you know?
Right. But what part of it was a lot for you, for your mental?
I just felt as if like, like attacking my personal life, you know what I mean? And just like, putting in so much for a good show and not getting that love and that respect from production when, I put in that work and I've been putting in the work from the beginning, you know what I mean? And I just felt as if like, if I'm not going to get the respect, I don't need to be a part of this. And, just rebuilding myself and getting myself out of that come up phase and getting back into my real life phase, And you know how that feels because you've done it.
I've done
and you haven't.
And
you didn't have a good season.
I did not.
And how did it feel walking away from it? It's like you have a dark cloud over you.
It
and you
definitely
just
feels like a dark cloud that will never fucking go away.
Exactly. So you got to take that time and just.
It's honestly something that will never go away. Let's just be very, very clear. As much as we try to make the shit go away and we advance our lives and we elevate our lives, it's always going to be that one interview like me that's going to want to go down history. And season 3 was a lot for me, honey, but I made it my business to change the narrative, right? Because let's talk about how much production is involved with the narratives, right?
They are involved.
You know, we may not create the narrative, but
they are involved.
They are involved. And, once they're involved and you're actively still filming the show, you just got to roll with it.
That's true.
I guess if you choose to. Me, I wasn't having it. I was trying to clear the shit up actively. But anyway, speak on it. Like, production can be a lot.
Production could be a lot, but you just have to know how to tell your story. You know what I mean? And I felt as if, like, when I did Bad Boys Club, I didn't know how to tell my story. So I just did anything to just be the fan favorite or be remembered. When I got offered to come to the Come Up, because I came to the Come Up season 2, I went on there on the same type of timing that I'm not going to be a part of this if it's going to be like season 1. So we're going to have to do a big cast change if I'm going to come on the show.
Wait. Big cast change?
A big cast change. That's why half the people that were on season 1 wasn't on season 2.
So you came in and you gave eviction notices.
I wouldn't say eviction notices. I was just not going to be a part of something that was just not me, you know what I mean? And that, I wouldn't work with those boys.
Okay, but when you say it's not you, why did the whole cast have to be recasted in order for your vision,
Because in real life, I wouldn't be around those people.
Hmm.
So
Okay.
I'm not gonna sit here and film in projects. I'm not gonna sit here filming the projects with you. Like,
I get
it's
it.
not gonna happen. I mean, there's
You know?
nothing wrong with like living in the project, but I'm not gonna film in the projects with you. And I just wanted it to be more like a housewife, basketball wives kind of flow and feel. You know what I mean? You're in New York. Let's display New York. And it just wasn't giving me come up. It was giving me, something that I wouldn't do. So when
That makes a lot of sense, though.
so
And I see that.
so when it was brought to me about the come up season 2 and that the fans wanted me to return, I was like, yeah, sure, but if it's gonna be like that, no. And he told me no, it's not gonna be like that. And I'm not gonna lie, Karan was very open, and he took a lot of our ideas and did what he needed to do to change the
Took
show.
a lot of y'all feedback.
And that's why season 2 was like one of the biggest seasons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? How much of production is involved in the scenes versus it all being you, right? Because I think the audience were saying that they felt like you were more of a bully the last season, right? They felt like you were, running the shit, running the household, trying to have things your way, and
From a production standpoint or a cast member?
Cast member standpoint.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Going on to last season, like I said, I didn't even want to be on the show. Last season, I wanted to just produce.
Mhm.
We're going to start there. And then I wanted to take the back seat. I didn't want to be involved in too much and stuff like that. But stories became a little dragging and it was time to switch narratives. And a lot of people just didn't want to come out of character or portray themselves in a certain light because of their image. So it was becoming a little difficult to get drama and more content, So we reached a point where it's just like, yeah, there's a little bit of a division, but everyone is getting along. So
not good for TV. Everyone's getting along. Hold on.
Everyone was starting.
Not good for TV at all.
Everyone was starting to get along. We were almost on episode what, 6, 5, and we're still talking about Andre and Spanky.
No.
So it was time to switch gears. You know what I mean? And like I said earlier, when it's time for me to clock in, I got to clock in. And I was asked to clock in. We're gonna be 100. I was asked to clock in because everyone felt like, production felt as if a me and Nakai feud would have been great for TV. And I feel like it would have been.
Definitely was.
I feel like it would have been great for TV too, but we were literally genuinely clashing. You know what I mean? It wasn't forced or anything like that. I feel as if, Nakai came on as my friend, but Nakai came on and she picked her side. She knew who she wanted to be down with, and you know what I mean? And no shade to that, I don't care because I'm also friends with everyone, which I thought I was friends with everyone.
Right.
So that really didn't matter to me. But when you're constantly disrespecting me and trying to be shady and saying that you're going to do this and do that and it's coming back to me, it's just like, wait, hold on.
Let's go over this.
You're trying to get a rise out of me, so I'm going to give it to you.
Right.
I'm going to give it to you.
So let's really unpack it, right? Let's really unpack this here. Because you said, the show was boring because you guys were getting along, more getting along than the drama, right? So why not produce what everyone actually has going on? People came in as podcasters and hairstylists and, and everything else. Why not utilize the camera for what you guys are really doing instead of the drama?
We tried to do that, and I'm not going to say it was boring. It wasn't boring, but when you're producing, you have to plan for what's next. So we were going into a phase where it was just like, what's next? And the reason why we didn't follow those things that those everyone was saying, because people were giving dates. You have to understand, we're working with a whole cast. People were giving dates for events that wouldn't happen. People were saying that they were going to do this, had no idea when they were going to do it. So we can only film what you give us, because if you're saying that you're going to have an event next week and the event isn't happening, that's where it goes back to me saying you have to control your narrative. And if you don't control your narrative, production will control it for you.
Yep. Production would definitely fill in where you lack now.
Exactly, because there's no way you're gonna say, oh, I have an event coming up and these are the dates, and we're gonna be like, no, we're not gonna film you. We're gonna come and we're gonna do what we need to do to come and film you. But when you are not giving anything, you're gonna fall into the web of where production wants you to be. So you can't get mad at that, and you can't. And I hate the whole narrative of, well, I was on the show and I felt like the production was just focusing on drama and stuff like that and blase. Let's be 100 now. When you're doing a reality show, you're going there to show what you want to show, but you're really going there to be in drama. You know what I mean? You're really going there to like be in drama. I feel like it's like one or two that is like, all right, well, I'm above the bullshit, but when the bullshit is happening, they front row seat on the phone, kikiing, spilling, and indulging in all the bullshit. You know what I mean? So don't run with a narrative saying that production made you do this or production made you, like, even when I said, like, production told me, it would be cute. I chose to clock in, though.
Right. You always have that option.
Exactly.
Clock in.
So I'm not going to blame it on production,
right. I agree.
And I agreed, like, I think that would be good, too. So let me
clock in.
And if you think about the come up and you think about top 10 come up moments, I'm in like at least 6 out of 10.
Facts.
You know what I mean?
And we can fact check that.
Yeah.
You know what
we
I mean?
even have one.
Hello. Yes. We in fact
Let's
do.
talk about it.
And I'm gonna just speak a little briefly on my little situation or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. I came on that motherfucker with my shit together as far as where I wanted to take my narrative.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually wanted you back on the season 4.
Yes.
I did.
Yes. I actually went in correctly, but shit happens and you just gotta honestly roll with it. But as far as like not having your shit in place, as far as like what you have going on, I had all of my shit together. I had studio sessions booked. Yeah. Production didn't make it out to that. Nah.
I wasn't a part of production at the time, so it wasn't me.
So you can have your ducks in order and production will still drop the ball. Okay. Because just because your potential is just, God no. But anyway.
But what I would say is you did a very good job on, your season. Like, you really stood out and you handled your own and you held it down because you came for me and I'm just like, oh, this bitch.
Did you expect us to get into that? Because I really didn't expect that moment to happen.
I'm not going to lie to you.
Or did you clock in, Jack? Because he talked about he be clocking in. Did you clock in for that moment?
I had to clock in. And the reason why I had to clock in was because we were on like episode 5, still talking about you sleeping with Chance. We didn't want to hear about that.
I was over it. Yeah,
we didn't want to hear about that no more. But like, what I would say is, I feel like if I wasn't being a loyal friend to one of my friends, I think we would have gotten along very well because we didn't have a real issue. You know what I mean? And it's not like, I went on the show like, oh yeah, he's not my type of person that I will. You give me. Like, we are above it. We want to do the nice things. We want to, you know what I mean? But in the circumstances of how you came in and, I was very cool with Chance. So of course I'm going to be loyal to Chance. It was just like, we didn't get the opportunity to,
listen, the loyalty runs thick on the show, honey, because I could not understand why was everybody on the cast mad at me. Now I understand to a degree now because the information that was, we ain't going over it here, but the information that was known on the show about me, everyone was obviously on the same page with it. You just don't do the shit, right? but the bone collector seemed to have got away.
Yeah.
And that was really baffling to me because although what's going around is my experience, you still got this bone collector ass nigga up here going around putting his say-so into this shit.
I still feel like I don't know the season 3 cast. It is no shade. I did not film with you guys. You can probably count like 2 times I filmed with y'all.
No, for real.
I was
for
not
real.
coming around.
For real. Yeah.
I was not, because I just felt as if like I felt out of place in that season because it wasn't my type of group. So whenever I did do filmings, if you notice, like I would do filmings with like one of the original boys, or I brought Ty back. You know what I mean? And we did all that. Like it just was an out of body experience for me. You know, I don't like that season. I think that's the worst season. It's like Scooby-Doo.
I think, I think everybody agrees though that wasn't the best season.
That was the worst season.
For
not
the
because of you
now.
though. Not because of you. I think that your character on the show was amazing. Like you did a very good job. You know what I mean? And I feel as if like, you know, you were in the wrong season.
Hey.
You were definitely in the wrong season.
Listen, I don't want to make this anymore about season 3 because, yeah, we got some other things to get into. Because, you know, I could sit here and do that all day. I could tweak that. So why did you let Nakai and your best friend Damo ruin your food tasting event?
They didn't ruin it.
Child, they did. And I'll tell you why. Because I wanted to see more of how you prepared yourself for it, as far as like in the kitchen, you know, prepping a little yang. But it wasn't as detailed as I guess everybody expected it to be, as far as like really sitting back and getting people's opinion. I think it was shown, don't get me wrong. Like people was like, they was eating it up. This shit good.
We filmed me preparing everything.
Oh, you did? It just wasn't shown?
Yeah, it just wasn't shown. You see, me being an executive producer on the show, I still don't get involved with edits and anything like that. So like I don't have a say of what goes in and, you know, what, you know, gets cut out. And I'm actually happy about that. I didn't want that because I felt as if like if I was able to control that, it wouldn't be fair for me to be a cast member and, you know, be able to control editing and all that stuff. It wouldn't be fair at all.
Oh, if your shit was aired and everybody else shit wasn't aired, is that what you're referring to?
Just in general, just like, you know, being in control of editing and being a cast member, that's not fair.
But how do you feel about that part not being aired in its totality, though?
I was upset. I felt like we should have shown more of, like, you know, the food and, you know, me preparing it. We should have definitely shown that. I was very upset about that. But,
you know, everybody was like, this shit good. I mean, I feel like I wanted more than this shit good. I want you to like get into every food on the plate. You know what I mean? A food tasting that. So let me ask, was that your first one?
My first food tasting?
Your first food tasting?
Yeah.
It was your first food tasting. And I feel like, I'm just going to say this, I feel like production should have, you know, put that money that they make from the show, you know, because they do make coin, and to making it, you know, a bigger situation for you. Because I think that's why people feel like the show is out of order. It's not showing a good balance of what people really got going on and then the drama. You know what I'm saying? So that's that, honey. But so yeah, Nakai and Damo, they did ruin your event now. Okay, they made it all about them, and people say, why did Oneil invite the two of them, knowing that they don't even live for each other?
Well, Damo was casted. He'd been casted. Damo just arrived late.
Oh,
yeah, he was casted with everyone else.
Wait, so is that exclusive tea here right now?
That is. I mean, I said this on Instagram that Damo was casted because it was a narrative saying that I brought Damo for the Kai.
Yeah,
Damo was casted, you know?
So Damo was actually a cast member on the show.
Actually a cast member on the show. He wasn't like a main cast member, but he was we knew before we started filming that Damo was going to be a friend of the show.
Okay, because a lot of people feel like that was your lab dog when you was, you know, working them the way you was doing it and stuff.
Damo's just loyal and has my back. But their friendship is just like, if you even notice, like when they're going back and forth, I sit down and mind my business. I don't get involved because they have a friendship themselves, even before me and Damo. Like they've known each other for a long time. So it's just like, yeah, they smoked the blunt. They smoked the blunt together.
So they
right
knew each other
that.
prior.
Yeah,
it wasn't their first time meeting.
No, they've known each other.
But it seemed like that for people though. That it was their first time meeting each other.
They have like a Tammy Evelyn kind of relationship.
Okay, so who do you give that reading battle to? Who wins that award between Nakai and Damo?
I feel like because Damo didn't have a microphone on, we weren't able to capture everything that Damo was saying because Damo was reading. You know what I mean? But Nakai was also reading. I say it was a tie if you were actually sitting there. But if you watch it, I'm going to have to give it to Nakai. Okay. But I feel like Damo should have been mic'd. Okay,
absolutely. Yeah. I know there was a scene that, that is so iconic when you was like, I'm done speaking with you. Like, what was it? You was talking to Nakai. You was like, I can't help you no further. That was the lie. You told Nakai, you said, listen, baby, I can't help you no further. Yeah. This is all the explaining you finna get here. It's going to be the last bit of explaining you going to get. And I don't got nothing else for you. Nope. I think everybody was like, oh my goodness. Shut down. I mean, yeah, you definitely read that. And the funny thing is you didn't even say a lot of words. You didn't even.
You see, the thing is that having a conversation with Nakai is like, it don't get nowhere because Nakai just want to listen to talk. She don't try to perceive or understand your point of view. It's just always validation and, trying to like, prove, I wouldn't say prove a point, but she don't back down, child. She gonna keep going even if she wrong. So for me, it's just like if I'm explaining to you where the disrespect came in and you don't understand it, then I can't help you no more. You know what I mean? Like that's something that you have to deal with yourself,
Okay. And we could both sit here and agree that Nakai is an example of someone who stands on their business, right? Because because she wasn't letting up off of you or Damo, and you sure enough wasn't letting off of her ass either, right?
Well, you see, the thing is like I kept trying to let go of Nakai, and every time she will apologize, we will move on, and then I'm hearing that she's supposed to throw a drink at me, and then we get back to the same bullshit. It's just like I didn't know, so I was kind of confused. So when the lines were drawn was when the whole drink situation happened, because I just felt as if like that was just weird. You know what I mean? Like, why would you? Why do you think you can even do that? Baby, show's over.
She was trying. She was trying. So throughout your years of being on the Bad Boys Club and the Come Up New York, what would you say is the biggest misconception of you? Right? Things that people get wrong constantly about you.
Is that I don't know.
Really? No?
Because
you don't read the comments, honey. Don't tell me. I
feel like last season, I did get I got some good comments, but negative as well, and people were like, "Oh, I'm stirring the pot behind the scenes and stuff like that," and it's just like, duh. But it wasn't on no like. It wasn't on no like. I'm a producer.
Yeah,
we want a show. It wasn't on no like planting bugs in nobody's ear or anything like that. But it was on some. All right, well, I would speak to everybody individually, and I would say, well, this is what I need you guys to do. This is what we're going to talk about. I even gave them homework. Because I felt like when we used to go to group filmings, the dialogue wasn't good. Everyone would talk over each other. So before we went on the trip, I made everyone watch a season of Basketball Wives on Netflix. So they can see how to transition a conversation so it won't be so dragging and draining, where you can just say one thing and get to the next thing and everything can flow better. And everyone could be able to communicate and have better dialogue. So if they say, oh yeah, Oneil's the one planting the bugs or doing this, that, and the third. I wouldn't say planting the bugs, but I'm doing my job as a producer.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to keep you guys entertained. I have a job to do. And I don't want to be a part of something that's a flop. So if I'm messy and stuff like that, then so be it. But I know that I'm not messy in real life. Like, I don't be in no drama in my real life.
Okay, because you was messy this season, okay?
It is what it is.
All right? I mean, honey.
It is what it is.
So the rooftop scene, right? Because the rooftop scene was a little weird for me to watch,
Yeah.
right? And I say it was weird because the arguments were kind of off a
The
little bit.
rooftop scene took me by surprise.
You know, like, why are these people sitting up here arguing? Well, like, for what? Really? Because somebody got up and went on about their business, talk about something different?
It took me by surprise, and I didn't think that anyone will react to it the way they did. And I didn't produce that. So a cast member came to me and was like, hey, I'm going to pull this person to the side and, you know, talk to them. And I'm like, yeah, do it. You know what I mean?
Right,
I didn't think everyone would have reacted or went crazy like that.
Right.
But it made good TV.
It sure did. You can tell because it's like everybody was like, "What the fuck?" Everybody was like all in one too, like, "What the fuck?"
And then what it
you
did,
getting up home talking about white bitch? We in the middle. There was like Andre's in the middle of it.
Right. And what it did was it made a division within the group.
Wow,
it was crazy, child. You had to be there.
So, are you involved in any other season of the Come Up New York? Like, are you like, is Karan coming back with the New York thing? Or?
I do not know if Karan is coming back with the New York thing. I think that he should, but let me give you guys another exclusive. I will not be returning to the next season of the Come Up. I am moving forward, and I don't know what the future may hold for the Come Up, but as of right now, I'm moving on, and I have other things lined up.
Okay.
I do think that he should continue because I think there's no franchise better than New York.
Very true.
Very true. Atlanta, they're doing their thing, but they're boring.
Very true.
They can have a fight on the season and it's still boring. You know, like, it's just like, it's boring.
Listen, Karan has something precious in his hands.
The New York one, I think, is the one that will take him where it needs to be. And I'm not going to lie, he's growing. He's getting better and better by season. The editing is getting better. His communication is getting better. How he is as a person is getting better. You know what I mean? So I just feel as if, like, you know, everyone's growing. You know, everyone's becoming a better version of themselves. Just take the tools and, you know, New York is your baby. I will say it is one of the struggling. It is a struggle to film it because you have a lot of people that are, you know what they want, and you really can't produce them the way you would want to. So it becomes a little bit frustrating. But don't give up and keep going because that's your baby.
So you most certainly think that he should keep the franchise.
Think that he should keep the franchise.
And okay, so not another New York show.
No, I think he should keep New York.
Keep the Come Up New York and just perfect it.
Yeah, I think that he should keep the Come Up New York, and I think that he should perfect it.
Okay,
you know?
Are we saying perfect it as now we're gonna get a whole new cast, right? No OGs, nowhere in sight, just a whole new.
I don't think that it should be a revamp.
Huh?
Revamps flop. You know what I mean? They don't. If you're gonna do a revamp, do a new city. When you're watching,
that's gonna hurt a lot of people on there now because we do got a lot of New York people in high demand that will definitely do a great thing on the show.
We always add, you know what I mean? We always add. We take out. That's how it is. You know what I mean? They can be added, but an entire new cast, I don't think it would give the same New York.
But if it ain't gonna be you, right? Is Ty still involved?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he probably would be. It's not only me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I do a lot, and I will say, like, there's times I can say I do carry the season on my back a little bit, but we do have a lot of other talented people. I feel like Ty is talented. I feel like Nakai, definitely. I would love to see Nakai back on the season. You know what I mean?
Most
And
certainly. The
as a
way
matter
he
of fact,
carried that
Nakai,
damn.
you wanted my crown, so I'm gonna take my crown off today, and I'm gonna put it
Wow.
on your head. You got it, babe.
Wow. Wow.
I definitely
That's
do.
real,
Yeah, like
though.
I definitely do feel like Nakai was a very strong cast member, and
Absolutely.
if I was still on, production role and working with Gemini Films, and despite whatever odds me and Nakai are in, I would have definitely sent him a return letter. You know what I mean? Because I think Nakai delivered, Nakai brought everything the show needed. And I just feel as if I'm not going to be on the show, the only person that can really fill those shoes, I think it would be Nakai.
And I wholeheartly agree with you.
Yeah.
So hopefully it does happen for Nakai. I think Nakai can go a long ways with being on that show. And
Yeah.
I hope that Karan really thinks about it, and really consider that idea. Now, your friend got married. Is
He
it
did.
still engagement or
No, he's married now.
they're married now?
Mhm.
Okay. And you were a witness of the engagement.
I was.
How did that
Yeah.
feel being like front and center?
It was beautiful.
You have
you
your
know what I
guy there
mean?
as well. Like, what did
Yeah.
that all feel like?
It was beautiful. Like, it was so beautiful because they met because of me. You know what I mean? And just like, they met at my housewarming. So to be there and to see it, I cried. I've never even seen a gay engagement or engagement in general. Well, I've seen two now, but that was my first one. And I feel like it was beautiful.
Made you
And
emotional.
yeah, I was very emotional. And it was just like, just being on the phone with him and just like, hearing him express like, his love for him and stuff like that. And him wanting that and me being there to see it happen. It was very beautiful. Yeah.
Yes, it was beautiful to see. I mean,
Mhm.
hello, how many weddings can we see on TV? How many gay
Right.
marriages can we see on TV from the Come Up
Yeah.
franchise?
Right.
It's
And it was the
not-
first one too.
it's
So
the
he
very
made
first
history.
one,
That's history right there.
So are you next in line? I know you're going to Maldives pretty soon.
So I'm not gonna go to the Maldives anymore. Switch
Okay.
it to Bali.
Okay.
Because
You
yeah.
go to Bali.
I'm leaving in a few weeks.
Wow. You're gonna have a ball.
I don't know. Like, I'm not in no rush, you know what I mean? Because like marriage isn't something that's really important to me right now. I feel as if like, we have a lot to work on, you know what I mean? And we're great, like everything is good. But I just feel as if like, we're still growing and I want to make sure that everything is perfect before we nothing will be 100% perfect, but like, I want to make sure we're both ready and we're both on that type of time. Do
Right.
I feel like it will happen eventually? Absolutely, because I don't see myself with anybody else. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm going to be realistic with myself at the same time. And
Not now.
And I'm not going to
Not
rush
ready.
anything. Yeah.
Not now, not ready.
Mhm.
So is the cheating rumors true?
It's absolutely false.
Okay.
It was someone. Let me make this clear to
Mhm.
you guys right now.
Clear it up, Jai.
My man is fine. I'm fine. So men throw themselves at us on a daily. You know how many men want me and how many men want him? So for me being on this public platform, I've seen people send me shit from years ago that I wasn't even in the picture. You know what I mean? Or people send me stuff where where we were broken up and I was still living in New York before we even moved in with each other. Like, you think I wasn't doing me too?
Right.
Show me something today.
Right.
Produce something today.
Okay.
I don't want to see nothing like, because I'm a Capricorn. I'm very like, calculated and on point with everything. So best believe I'm going back and I'm looking back to see where we were at that time. And a man is going to be a man. If you are broken up and you are on a break and you decide to do what you want to do, you're going to do what you want to do.
Absolutely.
So show me something today. I don't want to see nothing from 2 years ago. I don't want to see nothing from 3 years ago. I want to see something today.
Okay, dated 2023.
Exactly.
Okay.
I have a very, very good man, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Who would do anything for me and who is always there for me. And that's my best friend. We have each other. We're not as like public about it because we both prefer to have our relationship private. I wasn't even going to bring him on the screens of the show because I don't want my love life public. I've been with him since I was on the season 2 of the Come Up. You know what I mean?
Wow.
He was in the scene when we was in season 3. You remember when we filmed our burger and lobster scene, he was there. Yeah, so it was just
he
like,
was.
you know,
He was
I keep
playing
him.
the back.
Yeah, I
He don't
keep.
he keep his dude
I
close
keep.
by.
And I keep him behind the scenes. You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, like it is what it is. But if you can't show me anything today, and even if you could show me something, well, I know you can't.
So that rumor did
But-
not shake your relationship, your foundation with your man. It didn't move nothing.
It didn't move anything.
Okay, but who started that rumor anyway? Like, wasn't it a thing on the show too? Or maybe a thing after, and someone
it was a thing kind of after, and then we filmed.
Wasn't it Montel? I think Montel, he did.
No, Montel didn't do anything.
No,
Montel had nothing to do with that. Yeah.
Okay.
But it was a thing on the show, but I know exactly who it was behind that fake page. But I'm not going to give anyone no clout or anyone no free promo. You know what I mean?
Okay.
But we know who it was.
Listen, it was so humbling and so beautiful to see you and Fitz, you know, clear the air and get on one accord. Were you, before filming the show, were you already like, you know, I'm over this. Like I'm past that. Like if I see Fitz back on the show, it ain't gonna be what it gave last season. Like
I casted Fitz.
You gonna keep on giving me the exclusive here now? Okay.
Yeah, so it was my idea to bring Fitz back onto the show, and I feel as if like
Great
you
idea.
know,
Great
yeah,
idea.
I felt like if we are gonna lose, well, we're not gonna bring most of the boys back. I feel like we should go back to season 2, and everyone wanted the finishing story of that reunion.
Absolutely.
So I felt like it just would have been a good move. And it would have been smart to go back and grab him. And I didn't have an issue with it, but I didn't know where he stood. So whatever timing it was going to be on, it would have been on. If we were going to fight about it, we could have fought about it. We were going to piece it up and fix it. We were going to piece it up and fix it. But I didn't go on there on some, oh yeah, like I don't like Fitz, or I'm going to hold on or drag the situation. I honestly felt like the situation with me and Fitz at the reunion shouldn't have even happened. It was just a lot of stuff, rumors going around before the reunion that when I got there, I was just ready and I was on go. You know what I mean? And we spoke about that. I have nothing but love for Fitz, and like, you know, I have nothing but love for Kino, and like I respect them, and we were able to have a mature conversation and fix things and move forward.
I mean, I honestly got a little emotional when I watched that scene because it's like what happened in that season with Fitz and, you know, all of y'all, that was really intense and really like heartbreaking to even see, because it's like, well, damn, this is a whoop ass for real. This is a whoop ass situation there. I mean, everybody get their piece in, okay? Right there, uppercut. Everybody was like, come on, you gotta admit, there was a lot of hands involved.
There was a lot of hands involved.
Okay, and to see y'all, you know, 2020, what is it? Where y'all filmed?
I feel like it would have never happened if we would have been on time with the reunion. The reunion was supposed to start like 2 hours before that. Everyone started drinking. Everyone started getting, you know what I mean? So everyone was already ready, hot and ready. Go. So like, I feel like if the reunion would have started probably a little bit earlier, we would have been able to got more dialogue. And I don't think things would have gone the way that they did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we still don't know who was involved with that T page. Moving on. So you mentioned that you casted Fitz, right? Because you felt like it was an unfinished situation, right? So why not Chance? Why not bring Chance back to the show?
Well, me and Chance, how can I say this? Chance is cool. I don't have an issue with Chance, but Ty and I were friends. So that's who my loyalty lies with. And, you know, Chance said some things that were below the belt that I did not respect. And I just felt as, like, you know, out of respect for Ty, I don't think he should have been brought back. And my loyalty was definitely with Ty. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure he was good and he was comfortable. And also, Karan and Chance had their own little situation going on,
So
and
yeah,
so he wasn't an idea at all. So we weren't
understandable.
pitching. Yeah, we weren't pitching him.
Understandable. Yeah, I mean, that's a question I'm pretty sure everybody wanted to know. It's like,
Yeah.
where did the main person involved, why he didn't make the season, but that explains it. He wasn't on good terms with, Karan. He wasn't, on good terms with you and your best friend. So I get that.
I mean, I wouldn't say we weren't on good terms. Like, I don't speak to him as much, but if I
Mhm.
see him in the streets, I'm gonna say hi. I'm gonna say what's up because there's no bad blood and there's no ill will. You know what I mean? But I just,
But so you're saying
yeah,
at that time that you heard the stuff that he
yeah.
said, you wasn't with bringing him back on, but you guys are cordial though.
We never we never had an issue. Even when he said what he said, I just knew my loyalty line, and I knew that conversations just had to be cut short. It wasn't gonna give talking, talking, talking every single day. But there's still no beef, you know?
But it is some confusion there because you're saying that Chance did say some things that were below the belt towards
Yeah.
about your best friend,
Uh-huh.
but although he's
That's not
mentioned
my
those
best
things,
friend.
he didn't come on he didn't come back to the next season,
Mhm.
which people feel would have been a great idea, being that Fitz and him had unfinished business.
Well,
So did you take off your EP hat in that situation?
I didn't take off my EP hat because I'm not gonna even lie to you. I don't think anyone cared about him and Fitz.
Mm.
We never got any. We want to see what's going on with Fitz and Chance. It was always what's going on with Fitz and Oneil. You know what I mean? Because
And Spanky.
he jumped into something that had nothing to do with him.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Ooh.
You didn't fight. It wasn't your fight. So it's like nobody really.
Can we get another round?
Yeah, and we wanted
This is a lot for me.
and we wanted to like change the narrative of the show. So with that being said, pink slips had to be handed out. It's true.
Listen,
Thank
you came in and you gave out eviction notice. I don't care what you say. We're going to sit up here and say that, okay?
Mhm.
You came in and you did what was needed to be done,
Yeah.
even though that included giving the boots to some of the cast
Yeah.
members. You did what you needed to be
Mhm.
done. And I listen, I clap it up for you, man. That was the best
And
season.
what I do want to piggyback on too, not only did I feel like, me and Fitz's situation was good for TV, I do feel like Fitz didn't get a chance to show his talent on season 2, and I wanted him to come back and do that as well.
Boom. Listen,
Yeah.
I was like, listen, they ain't do it for me, but they better do it for Fitz now. And I was so happy to see that. He got his shine. But that
Mhm.
studio scene, it went left, which I was like, see, y'all kind of slightly, I won't say completely ruined his moment, but y'all kind of slightly did.
How we ruined his
Because
moment?
it wasn't there a situation. Everybody was like, Spanky this, Spanky that.
He
motherfucker.
ruined his moment. He was the one that addressed the situation. I came in off guard. I didn't know there was a situation with him and Spanky, so I was shocked. So we didn't ruin shit. We came up, we was invited, we came, and we were all hit off guard.
So that happened in real time.
That happened in real
It
time.
wasn't
I
no,
was even
okay,
asked
this we
about
gonna create this
I was even
dialogue.
asked about my man.
Oh.
I didn't know that was gonna happen either. I was hit off guard with that, but I handled that very well. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like, it's no one's business. So I definitely handled that very well. And, we were all hit off guard. So we ain't mess his moment up. He stirred the pot at his own shit. So we ain't do nothing, child.
I was like, well, it did appear because we're gonna always go based off of what it appeared like, because right, we ain't in there. You was there in real time, so you got to see what was left out, what was But in real time, it looked like, oh, they picked a fine time to get on Spanky ass. And look how it turned out. You got Ty, got Oneil saying stuff. You got Fitz,
I made it clear when I said what I said to Spanky that I'm not trying to make this a gang up on Spanky moment, but what I'm saying to you is, Spanky, you do, do things and say things and, kind of like throw stones and hide your hands. And, me and Spanky, I don't feel like we have a relationship, you know, but we don't have
Okay.
an issue. I think it's
Right.
respect there where we just like, hey, like, you know, hi, how are you when we see each other? But I don't, sometimes you just have to know someone for who they are based on how they treat other people and just know, like, I'm staying back, you know? And it's just like, when I first walked onto the show, like, I really liked Spanky and, you know, I felt like Spanky was super, super cool. And there was a situation where there was a phone conversation that happened behind my back and it was brought back to me. After that, I was just like, yeah,
I was kind of done with that.
I wasn't done with it, but it was just like, you're cool and that's it. It's not going to be no more than you're cool. Yeah,
So he wouldn't be in your friends group, huh?
not really.
No. Or at the same events that you might attend.
I've run into him. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So when the recognition started happening with you being on the shows, right? What was
Mhm.
that experience like? Because I'm sure you had people, oh, that's Oneil from
Oh my God, it's
that.
crazy.
You know, what
And
was
I
that
didn't
like?
think that it would be like that. And I feel like the recognition was okay for Bad Boys Club, but the recognition became super big for the come up. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in restaurants and I've had people like just send shots to my table. Like, we love you on the show. And, you know, like, I've been at work and people come up to me, they want to take a picture. Like, they love me.
Yep.
I've gone to Pride and I'm stopping every 2 seconds. Like, oh my God, you know what I mean?
Pride
So
now.
like,
Wow.
I love the love. The love is real. You know what I mean? I just have to know how to channel out, which I think I've gotten better with, the negativity, because there's always going to be negativity. You know what I mean? But aside from that, like, I love the love that I get, and I feel like I get more love than hate. And it's so funny because I said this the other day. I can be the perfect hero, but I can also be the perfect villain as well. So I can give you that both the balance, and I can be a fan favorite with being a villain, and I can be a fan favorite with being a hero, and I've showed that time and time.
Okay, honey, because this season you was the villain, right? Can we say?
But I will say, when that poll went up,
Yes.
and it was Team Nakai or Team Oneil, Team Oneil definitely won.
Whoop!
Let's be real.
Listen, but see, what I'm thinking about is because your EP debut on this season was so good, right? That would make me want to continue this EP shit. Like, what other show you want me to executive produce? You know, I would have think that your hands would have been involved with the new Atlanta season.
So we were supposed to do a new show.
Uh-huh.
We were supposed to do like a boys trip kind of vibe where we were supposed to get different boys from different franchises, and we were going to get one house for like 3 days and put everybody in one house. So we was going to get some of the Miami boys, we were going to get some of the Atlanta boys, we were going to get some of the New York boys, and we was going to just put everybody in one house and, you know, do like the Come Up Boys Trip series. But it's a mixture of different all-stars from different, like, you know, franchises. So we were in works of doing that before we decided to part ways. I feel like that would have been a cool thing to do. You know, I hope, you know, he hopefully still does it, because I think it would still be cool. And
Absolutely.
I wouldn't, even though it was my idea, I wouldn't hold no hard feelings towards it. You know what I mean? Do your thing. I'm going into another direction. And like, I just wish nothing but the best for everyone.
Okay, we're gonna get real saucy now. Okay, that was real cute and real like that was real that. But let's really talk about it, right? You are one of the longest running castmates on the Come Up New York.
GeminiFilmz.
On GeminiFilmz.
In general, yes.
Right? But let's talk about compensation.
Okay.
Compensation, right?
Yeah.
Because you've done so well. Your work on that show, just Gemini, period, has been so well. Have you been compensated for all of your hard work and dedication?
Well, we're gonna answer the question. I'm gonna be completely honest.
Well, come on, let's be real.
I have not. But you see, the thing is that like I didn't go on it to be compensated. It
don't matter.
I'm building myself as well, and we're, you know, helping each other out. You feel me? So it's just like, you know, I'm not in financial needs.
Got it
I'm
granted.
I'm very financially stable.
Got it granted.
So for me, it's just like, I never push the issue of a payment because even anything that he was willing to pay, it wouldn't be enough for me.
Mm.
So so no, listen.
Wait a minute.
I'm not even being shady.
Do
but it's
tell,
just
do
like,
tell. So are you saying that the show didn't make enough to cut you a check?
if you're gonna cut me a check for all the work and dedication I
Right.
did, I want at least like 5,000 to 6,000 a season.
He could have gave you that. Everybody else checks may have been delayed, but he could have gave you that.
Nah, I'm okay. Like payment has never been a big issue for me. You know what I mean? Like I really respect Karan and the things that he does, and I respect the opportunity and the platform that he has given me. So like payment has just never been a thing for me. I feel like filming the show, I enjoy doing that, and it's something that I wanted to do. So it's not really. It's not really. I'd rather like even if I got a check, I would probably give my check away to get new boys.
Mm.
Now, if it was my show and I was in full control,
Uh-huh.
I'm compensating people because I feel like with payment, people are gonna show
the fuck out.
Exactly.
Hello.
People are
I'm getting a check at the end of that
exactly.
shit.
And people are not gonna just walk off whenever they feel
Hell
like it.
no. I
You know
gotta
what
stick for my
They want-
motherfucking check.
Exactly. So if it was me, I would definitely compensate. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? But he's growing. Hopefully he will reach that point where he sees it and he understands because you're not gonna have full control.
Hell no.
And you're not going to get people that are really established on the show because they already have the clout.
Hello.
So they don't need it. So if you want your show to, grow, even if it's a little bit of something, do something, Do something.
I just can't wrap my head around the fact that Oneil Bleu, the original bad boy and the OG of the Come on New York, wasn't compensated shit.
I never pressed the issue. I'm sure that if I was like, oh, Karan, I need to get paid. I think Karan would definitely
he would write a check for you.
I think he would look out for me.
Okay, so if he wasn't paying you, where the hell the money went? Where did it go? Did it go to the restaurants and shit that be going on in the scenes? Did it go to any of that? Was Karan actually taking care of that? I mean, after my season, because that was the season. But
I think when I stepped in, I took care of the boys more. You know what I mean? I did little things to make it, scenes that I would attend, you know what I mean, as a producer, like even with the whole house situation, like I got the house and I took a little bit of something from everybody, but it wasn't what I paid. It wasn't nowhere near what I actually paid for the house. You know what I mean? For the trip. But it was just like, like he does things like he will compensate, like when you get liquor and stuff like that. Like the Karan that you were probably working with on season 3 was not the Karan on season 4. I promise you that. Even though me and him are not on the best of terms right now, I can vouch and I can tell you that that man has grown.
I'm sorry, I can't help myself but the giggle.
When we went to the Atlantic City trip, Karan went and we all went to the liquor store and Karan bought like so much bottles.
Listen, that's a starting point.
You know what I mean?
I'm here for the starting point. Come on now. You are the biggest. You're the owner. You could come harder if you feel like it. He don't feel like it. Listen, can you clear up this room? Karan really doesn't have a place to stay.
I did not hear anything like that.
Never heard anything about that. Karan doesn't have he doesn't have a job.
Like, I'm not since I've walked away from it, I'm not intact with
any of the bullshit.
Yeah, like I've unfollowed the T pages. I don't follow,
so you really don't want to be associated with
Karan. I unfollowed the GeminiFilmz page.
You really don't want to be associated with the situation.
I just want to move forward. You know what I mean? I just want to move forward. Like I don't have no hatred in my heart. I just want to move forward and just be happy. I feel I was in a very dark space walking away from that show. And
did you need a therapy at some point?
I did get a therapy.
Okay, speak on it. That's real. Listen, I went through some shit too. That
and it's just like I needed to get away from that, and I just felt like I was there for everyone, and when it was time for everybody to be there for me, they jumped ship. You know what I mean? And it just showed me who people really are, and I don't.
But do you actually feel like them not showing up for you when you needed them to was
Mm.
actually an intention? Like, was it like purposely fulfilled in that way, or people didn't know? Because I'm sure people
It was a
think that
lot of
Oneil was strong. You know, he got this
it was a
shit.
lot of
You
shady,
know.
sneaky stuff going on behind my back.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And then like there was another page, like there was this guy that was doing like reviews of the show. He was the one that kind of started a narrative of my, boyfriend cheating on me, and Karan shared it. He shared it, and I and, like, even though he probably didn't do it in a way like, oh, he's just probably like trying to share, like, to promote the guy reviewing the show, but like, where it's coming from, you know what I mean? And I just felt like, I've had your back. Like, I went on lives, and I even the fucking chasing page had fucking, I don't know if they muted me, something, whatever they did, because we was on an interview. Me and Ty was on an interview, and I was like, no, I feel like we got it. You know what I mean? GeminiFilmz all the way. Like, I've done, even when they was trying to invite me on that surviving Quran shit, surviving GeminiFilmz shit, like, I denied it. I've never done anything, or, if anything, I defend you. So for you to share that, I just felt like it was an ultimate betrayal. And I just felt like, yeah, I don't know. I
You
didn't
good off
expect
that.
that. Yeah, I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect to get all this exclusive tea up on this show today. But listen, honey, I think that you gave the people what they needed. Let me just go over, make sure I covered everything. So I want the people hollering at me. That's really good. So what was your most and least pleasurable moment on the Come Up New York? Do you have any?
Any season?
Any season.
My most pleasurable moment on the season would have to be the like my favorite scene is what you're referring to.
What scene did you get your entire life from?
The scene with Ty and Antal arguing in the park.
Oh, MG.
That was like, and I was there, so it was just like crazy. And then the scene that I hate the most, and I hate watching it to this day, would have to be the scene at the bowling alley with the home montel situation. Yeah, I feel like,
when they said you had a part of that, part of that narrative,
it was boring. We needed to switch it up a little bit.
So you did, in fact, had your hands into it.
I did, but you know what? Things were put out that shouldn't have been put out, and like, I was wrong, and I take accountability for that. But like, we needed to switch the show up. We needed to switch the narrative. Season 3 was just not going in the direction that it needed to go in, and I did want to take a back seat on that season 2 and just get season as well to give more of a part-time role, which I think I did until towards the end. I started showing up more, but it just needed a little bit of a oomph, and the best way to do it is to go back in the past. And bring it back up.
This Oneil here, he's a very talented man. I tell you, I mean, keep it up. Yeah. You definitely got to have yourself.
I have a question for you.
Go ahead.
Would you return to the Come Up?
I would absolutely return to the Come Up.
You would?
Absolutely.
I think you should.
It makes sense.
Yeah,
right?
Like, I definitely think that you should. I think that you were in the wrong season. Let me tell you what my dream cast is for the next season. I would love to see you. I would love to see Nakai. I would love to see I want Andre to come back, and the reason why I want Andre to come back, because I feel as if, like, Andre has a story to tell, and I feel like Andre should tell her story. I think I do want Joel back as well, but I don't think he would ever do that. So I think the cast should be you, um, Andre, Ty, Nakai, of course, and then Montel, and bring in like 3 new people.
I can see that. I can
Yeah,
see that.
bring in
That's
like
actually not a bad idea.
bring in
Listen,
like 3
cast,
new
just
people,
cast me.
and I think you all would eat it.
Everything else could just flow together. Just cast me, and we'll take it from there.
I think you all would eat it.
You know, because I got some things to get off my chest.
Yeah,
You know,
you guys will
you know,
all eat it.
and life is
It'll be a good
beautiful now.
season. Yeah,
Life is
you
so
got so
beautiful
much
now.
going on.
So much,
You know what I mean?
so much going
It'll be
on.
dope.
You know, and you're going to Bali.
Yes.
But this is what I want to do, though. I want to do a moment of silence for your relatives that, you know, passed away in that murder situation that happened recently in Far Rockaway, right? Was it Far Rockaway?
Mhm.
Yeah. So let's just do a moment of silence. Yeah.
Thank you
So
for that.
you're welcome. You're welcome.
Mhm.
So how are you holding up with all of that?
I mean, it's very tragic, you know what I mean? But, you know, I got it all out. I'm still grieving, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm to a point where it's just like, you know, it's sad. It's really sad. And it's like a horror movie. And then just finding out more details about it and just like, you know, talking to my mom and my family and just seeing how broken everyone is. It's just a lot. It really is a lot. But you know, we are a family of God and we keep God close and we just need all the prayers and all the support and you know,
Yes, I'm sending all
mhm,
of my love, all of my prayers to you and your family because
mhm,
that is just so tragic.
yeah,
So tragic. And I would have never thought that that would be any of your people. You know what I
yeah,
mean? And when
mhm,
you know, put it up on the internet and you know, put people on, I was like, wow, that's
yeah.
just all you could do was just like, ah, so sorry.
You see stuff like that on the news and you just be like, damn, that's so crazy. But you never think that
How
it would
close
be
it could hit home.
exactly.
So
Mhm.
how close was your relationship with them?
So she grew up with me in the same house and she her mom ended up coming here from Jamaica and she left with her mom and like I didn't see her in a long time until like, you know, my adult years. I saw her again about 2 years ago when I threw a party for my mom. She came and it was just like, you know, it was like, damn, like we haven't seen each other in a long time. We was catching up and talking and, you know, and to just hear this, it's crazy. It was crazy.
It's so devastating.
Yeah.
So the last question that I have for you is
Mhm.
I want to know like what do you do to keep yourself level headed, to keep your mental health, you know, steady? Like what does Oneil Blue, you know, do? Keep yourself sane.
Cook.
Okay.
I love to cook. It's very
Yeah.
therapeutic. You know what I mean? Creating new dishes and, you know, I try to stay off social media as much as I used to. I go on like, you know, my hiatuses.
Mm-hmm.
I do work a lot. But whenever I am like, you know, off and stuff like that, like I'll play like my PS5, you know. I have been seeing a therapist and my therapist have been like, you know, helping me out a lot, navigating things and getting me back on track to where I need to be, where I can focus and get back to me, you know. Um, and yeah, I just vibe out with my nigga and just like, you know,
Mm-hmm.
travel the world
Do you have time for friends these
and
days?
have a
Because
good
you
time.
know I'm in my love bubble right
You know,
now, and
right?
you know I have time for my friends, but you
I
know I'm mostly in the air going
yeah, I
somewhere
am
now
not going to
nowadays.
lie. I'm going into the new year open and willing to meet new people and just like, you know, have new friends and build new connections. Cause I've always been that kind of person that was just like, I don't want no new friends, you know? And now that I'm getting older, like I feel like I want friends with the same preferences that I like, you know, like I like to travel. I want friends that want to travel. I want friends that want to fine dine, like, you know what I mean? I feel like I'm kind of judged a
Fine
little
dine,
bit.
honey.
Yeah, I'm kind of judged
Did you
a
hear
little
this?
bit. Yeah. But I love my friends, you know what I mean? Anyone that I had any sort of questionable doubts about, we're no longer friends. But I'm good.
Yeah, he's known for the eviction notices, honey.
I'm going into this new year, like, you know, open and willing to meet new people.
I guess the people want to know,
Yeah.
can the actual average person who may not have it all together be a friend of yours?
Of course.
You know,
Of course, it depends on how
may not
you
be able to
are.
find. This man done walked up in here with, pronounce the name for me, please. What's that bag over there?
Goya.
This man done walked in with a Goyard bag now. So I wants to know, can, you know.
Absolutely. You know what I
Lower
mean? You don't have
class.
to be materialistic like I am. Like, you know, just know how to be a friend, you know how to be a good friend, a supportive friend, and just, yeah.
So no friends on food stamps. Did that gag him?
What's a food stamp?
food-
Let me stop. Jennifer.
So no
Jennifer
friends
Williams.
with food stamps.
No.
We're not welcoming
'cause
them
I
in the
buy
group.
food stamps from people. You
Okay,
crazy.
because I'm about to say you
Groceries
need
is
you
expensive. I be
somebody who
buying
got some food
I be
stamps
buying
now.
them shits, okay? Shit.
I just needed to know because I'm sure the viewers want to know, like,
Yeah.
will I be able to sit with him if I cross his path and give him this good energy? Would he embrace me?
And you know what?
Even
And
though I'm
I
on
think
food
that,
stamps and live Section 8.
And I think that is what go back to your question, which you asked me earlier. What is it that I would like to clear up that people think of me?
Misconception.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it would be that. I'm very cool and easygoing and just like, you know what I mean? Like, don't start no shit, won't be no shit. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that's just how I am. If you don't fuck with me, I don't fuck with you, you know? So just, but other than that, like, I'm super fun. Like, I'm super fun. I'm a vibe, you know what I mean? And I'm a very good friend. I'm very genuine. I'm very loyal. And like, you know.
Well, listen, Oneil, hopefully we can take some trips together because,
Definitely.
you
When
know,
you
I
going to
got my
Africa?
Sky Miles account going and
When you going to
stuff.
Africa?
Let's do it now. I'm down. Let's go to Africa.
I don't want to go to Ghana though.
No,
because it's
when
too
you
much
told me that,
requirements
I
to
took
do
that
that.
off my
Yeah,
list.
you
I
gotta-
don't want to have to get anything
Yeah, you got
to go to your
South
country.
Africa.
So let's go to
Mhm.
maybe Cape Town. Can we go to Cape Town?
We can do that.
All right,
Absolutely.
so we'll work on
We'll
that.
Work on that.
But I want to thank you for embracing me,
Mhm.
embracing my platform,
Of course.
and just showing me love because you show me love now.
Yeah.
Y'all might not know, but he showed me love now, and we share the love.
We do.
And that's just that on that, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So yes, y'all, it's Oneil Bleu. Thank you for coming on the Real Saucy Show.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a blast.
Yes.
Do you think they're gonna gag at this?
They're gonna gag.
All right. Well, you've been to Gag City. Good night, y'all. Have a good night.